Power 93.7 WBLK. I'm Yasmin Young. This is the 2 to 6 Takeover with a very, very, very special guest in the building today. We've watched her do her singing thing. She's on television. She is just really a Renaissance woman. And I am talking about Miss Kelly Price. Welcome.
Good morning. How are you? Hi.
And I love that little bit of singing in it. Come on and give it to me, girl. Give it to me. So Kelly Price.
I can't help it. Yes.
It is
American Soul.
It is awesome to have you joining us. Now, before we get to American Soul, I'm a little nosy, so I want to know, what have you been doing during quarantine?
I have been writing a lot, scripting some things.
Okay.
I've been really creative in the kitchen, writing music, writing some scripts. I'm from New York, and obviously, New York is literally the hardest hit place in the world. So I've lost several people in the last couple of months. So I've been very intentional about allowing myself time to feel what I need to feel, but I've been intentional with not trying to get stuck there because I'm in the house.
Right.
So the world's an interesting place right now, but here we are, and we make it when we pull through, and we pull through well when we're intentional and we do it together as best as we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we've seen with the, pandemic is that a lot of television shows have stopped production because they just can't do it with the social distancing and all of that. So it's really great to hear that American Soul is coming back on tonight for season 2, because, a lot of us are like, well, I don't know, am I going to have any good shows to watch on television? And so this is really exciting. Tonight, 10 p.m. on BET, American Soul season 2. Let's talk about that.
Oh, my God. So we are back. Season 1 left us wondering what in God's name is going to happen with Don. Now, we definitely know that Soul Train survives, because Soul Train ended up being like the longest Black-owned syndicated show ever in history. So we know that because we know that how and when the show stopped airing, but we don't know what's happened next in Don's personal life. What was the next business maneuver, the next struggle, the next time someone tried to come take his show from him? Who was it? How was it? How he literally had to continue to fight to maintain ownership of something that he started and brought to Hollywood. And then there's life. He's got a wife. Who at the end of the season serves him with divorce papers. There you've got Brienne, who lost her husband to the Vietnam War, who now in season 2, she had teen kids trying to put life back together, and now she has what I like to call legal kids, because they are of legal age, but still require mothering in a lot of ways. And she's trying to find the balance between allowing them to adult, make their own decisions, even if she's not crazy about the decisions that they're making, but also freeing herself to have a life that is all hers.
Right.
She tried the dating thing in season 1, and she decided she was okay not to do that. You'll get a chance to see that in season 2. Brienne is focused, and Brienne is singing. I will say that.
Okay.
And she has grown kids. Well, she has legal kids, because I say when you got to keep coming back home, you ain't all the way grown.
That's true. That is true. Okay, so
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do that black mama thing. You 40 years old and got a curfew.
or don't have a key to your mama's house and got to knock on the door to make sure you come home before it's nighttime.
To make it by a certain time, because your mama will tell you, "Don't wait. I got to be up in the morning. Don't you show up here. If you're not back by a certain time, don't even bother to come home."
I love it. I love it.
I done got off track. It's hysterical, but we know that's the truth.
Oh, okay. And so for people who may not be familiar, who may just be hearing about it and they're like, wait, what? American Soul, Don Cornelius, Soul Train. Give a little synopsis of just what the show is about in general.
So what this is a look into the life and the backstory of how the iconic brand and show Soul Train was conceptualized, and Don Cornelius's fight to make his dream that started as a basement house party in Chicago a television show in Hollywood. In the 60s and the 70s, we didn't have social media, live streaming, and all of these things where at any point you can see what's going on in the life of a celebrity that you love or follow. All we had back then was the show. We knew what they did on the show. We knew what their publicists put out. We knew what we saw on the news. We knew what they put in the magazines. And, you felt bad if you saw them in the National Enquirer because it wasn't nothing good about that. But that was what we had back then. We didn't have real-time access to the people that were idolized. And so for the first time, we get to meet Don Cornelius from Chicago, the things that drove him, his tics, his quirks. You love him. You hate him. You want to see him win. He's a thug. He's a military guy.
Yeah.
He's from Chicago.
Right. Hello.
But he's a businessman. He's a businessman,
mm-hmm.
and he loves his family, but he's very flawed. But it's because he has a backstory just like everybody else does. So we get to tell his life story, and that's the beauty of this show. We knew the show was iconic, but we get to see what it took to be the person to create this piece of history that ultimately was a paradigm shift for people of color, because it allowed us to know, as talented as we are, that we didn't always have to sell our talent. We can own it.
Right, absolutely. All right, BET's American Soul. It is back on season 2 tonight, 10 p.m. Kelly Price, it has been a pleasure to speak with you and really get excited about the show. And what do you have anything else that you're working on that's coming up?
Gosh, so during this quarantine, I just, with no advance whatever, released an inspirational song. It is out right now. It's called What I Need. I also decided to just go ahead and put out a new R&B single as well. I'm going to end up with 2 EPs before the end of the year. I'm at home writing new music and reorganizing my studio so I can do all of my recording from the house now.
I love it.
So yes, there's new music available right now and new music coming later in the year as well.
Thank you,
and
Kelly
Sunday
Price.
Best. Oh my God.
Right, girl, you busy. You better get them bags. Well, listen, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here in Buffalo, Kelly Price. You're amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. WBLK has been with me from day one, early riders in Buffalo, and I really appreciate you guys. I love you. Stay safe, stay healthy, be smart. That's what New Yorkers do.